Welcome back to day 4, everybody. Now we get to talk about my favorite book, the B-I-B-L-E, Bible. I love the Bible. It's God's words to us, God's holy word. We see that in our pledge, do you remember? And it is His words to us that we get to read and learn more about Him. But before we talk about our Bible story, I want us to see this plate full of like 100 little pom-pom pieces. There's like 100 of these little guys, and there are so many that I bet if you snuck one off my plate, I wouldn't even notice it was gone. That's how many are on here. I would have to count and say 98, 99. Uh-oh, one's missing. I wouldn't know where it went, and I wouldn't even notice it was gone until I counted all of them. But do you know what? I might not know that one's missing, but God does. God knows everything, and He even knows when one little pom-pom is missing from 100. He knows it all, and He cares about every little detail. And so that leads into our story that talks about how God is our shepherd. God takes care of His sheep. And so Jesus told a story one day. He was up on a hillside talking to the people, and He was telling them some stories about God. And He knows all about God because He is God. And He was telling the people, and they were listening, and He was saying, this is what heaven is like. This is what God is like. And one of the stories He told was how God is like a shepherd and we are like the sheep. Now, we talked about this already before when we talked about David and Goliath. Remember how he was a shepherd and he wrote the words, "The Lord is my shepherd." He was like an author. He wrote, "The Lord is my shepherd." Do you remember that Bible verse? The Lord is my shepherd. Psalm 23 verse 1. Yeah, that's David writing that. And that is the same kind of story that Jesus told about Himself. He said, if there are 100 sheep, that's a lot of sheep. If a shepherd had 100 sheep, and he counted all of them to make sure that they were okay, and he would, he'd take them with him to the stream, he'd lead them to the pasture, he'd help them relax and rest when it was nighttime, he would guard them, protect them. That's like God protecting us. God looking after us. God taking us where we can be safe. And God taking us where we can find food and water. He provides food and water for us too. And so He's like our shepherd and we're like the sheep. But in this story, one of the sheep goes missing. It gets lost. It runs away. And the shepherd can't find it. He's looking around. He goes, oh, wait a minute. 98, 99. Where's little sheep 100? Where's little fluffy 100 sheep? Where did the sheep go? Well, that shepherd, if that shepherd is like God, will go and find that sheep. He won't let that sheep stay lost. He's going to go looking for that sheep. He's going to find that sheep and bring it home. That's like God with us. He loves all of us so much that each one of us matters. Every single one of us. God said, I care about you. Sometimes I'm amazed by that God cares about me. And I'm just one person. And God cares about me and whether I'm lost or not. And I just think that's amazing. I have this story, and it tells about the shepherd, the good shepherd who looks for his sheep. It says, one day, this is in a read aloud series, by the way. One day Jesus told a story, and this is what He said. He's talking to the people. There they are. He's sharing with them. This is the back of Jesus's head. What the illustrator thinks Jesus might have looked like. We didn't have cameras invented back then, so we don't really know for sure, but this is what the illustrator is imagining. Jesus said, once upon a time, there was a man who had some sheep, and he loved his sheep. He's a shepherd. And there is his sheep. And just so you know, back in those days, they didn't have a gate in front of the sheep pen. The shepherd would lay there as the door. And Jesus later also says he's the door. So that's kind of interesting. He's the good shepherd and he's the door because he's laid there to guard the sheep. Every day, the shepherd, that man, took his sheep to the grassy hill. And the sheep ate the grass and the sheep were happy. There they are. They're following the shepherd. The sheep know their shepherd's voice and follow along. There they go. Every night, the man took his sheep back home. Every night, the man said, "Are all of my sheep here?" And he would count every one. He had 100 sheep. He would count them to find out 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5, and all the way up to 100. They're all here. And the man was happy. He loved his sheep, just like God loves us. But one day, something happened. In the morning, the man took his sheep out on the grassy hill, and the sheep ate the grass, and the sheep were happy. It sounds the same. Sounds like the day before. And that night, he took them home, and he said, "Are all my sheep here?" And he counted to find out. We know how to count to 100. We practice. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 98, 99. Oh no! One sheep was gone. Look at that shepherd's face. He looks a little alarmed. He looks really bothered by his missing sheep. Wonder what he's going to do. How is he going to find his sheep? That man, that shepherd, he ran back to the grassy hill. He loved that sheep. He looked here, no sheep. He looked there, no sheep. He looked this way, no sheep. He looked that way, no sheep. Oh no, he's looking everywhere. He can't find his lost sheep. But what was that? It looked like something white, and it looked like, it was his little lost sheep. There he comes to come get his lost sheep. Aw, little sheep said, "I'm lost. I lost my way. I couldn't find my family. I couldn't find my shepherd." That man was very happy because he loved his sheep. He picked it up and he took it home.